S.S.C. Board, Maharashtra State. The night I met Einstein. When I was a very young man, I was invited to dine at the house of a philanthropist. After a wonderful dinner, our hostess took us to a large drawing room. Chairs were being arranged. "I am arranging the chairs for a concert," my hostess said. "We are going to listen to a very good pianist." Though everyone else was very happy, I was not. I didn't understand classical music. I thought I was tone deaf. I sat down so that I would not be impolite and waited for the concert to begin. I did not pay attention to the music after it began. And now the meanings. Dine, have dinner. Hostess, a woman who invites guests to a social event. Concert, performance of music by players or singers. Pianist, someone who plays a piano. Tone deaf, unable to hear the difference between high and low notes of music. Impolite means rude. Philanthropist means a person who works for welfare of the mankind. After a while, I heard everyone clapping, so I realized that the piece was over. Just then, I heard a gentle but firm voice saying, "You are fond of Bach?" I knew as much about Bach as I did about nuclear physics. I was going to say something ordinary so that I could get out of the situation. I turned in order to look at my neighbor, and I saw a very famous face. It was someone with a shock of white hair and a pipe. I knew that I must tell this man the truth. He looked at me as if my answer was very important. And now the meanings. Bach means Johann Sebastian Bach, a German organist and composer of the 17th century. Bach is the German pronunciation of the word B-A-C-H. Its English pronunciation is Bach. A shock of white hair means a bunch of uncombed, unruly white hair. I do not know anything about Bach, I said. I have never heard any of his music. He looked surprised. You have never heard of Bach? He asked. He made it sound as if I had said that I had never taken a bath. I would like to understand music so that I could understand Bach, I said, but I am not able to. I am tone deaf. The old man got up. You will come up with me? He asked. I just remained seated. I am requesting you to come with me, he said again. So I went up with him. He took me to a room which had a gramophone in it and asked, "What kind of music do you like?" "Well," I answered, "I like songs that have words and the kind of music where I can follow the tune." And now the meanings. Gramophone means machine for playing recorded music. He smiled and nodded, obviously pleased. You can give me an example perhaps? I told him I like anything by Bing Crosby. At once I could hear Bing Crosby's voice filling the room. Now can you please tell me what you just heard? He said. The simplest answer seemed to be to sing the lines, so I sang it back to him. He smiled. You are not tone deaf, he said. And now the meanings. nodded, moved head up and down to indicate agreement. Bing Crosby, an American singer and actor. I told him this was one of my favorite songs, something I had heard hundreds of times, so it didn't really prove anything. Nonsense, said Einstein. It proves everything. Do you remember your first arithmetic lesson in school? Suppose at your very first contact with numbers, your teacher had ordered you to work out a problem in, say, long division or fractions. Could you have done it? No, of course not. Exactly. It's like learning maths. You have to learn addition and subtraction in order to do multiplication and division. Now I'm playing something a little more advanced. It was John McCormack singing the trumpeter. Sing that back, he ordered. And we went on from level to higher level until he was playing just music without words. I was amazed that this great man was paying complete attention to me so that I could learn something new. It was as if I was the most important person in his world. Suddenly he got up and turned off the gramophone. Now the meanings. John McCormack means Irish American singer. Amazed means greatly surprised. Now, young man, he said, we are ready to listen to bow. We went down and sat in the hall. Just allow yourself to listen, he said. That's all there is to it. I have heard that piece many times since that day. But I am never alone. I am sitting beside a small man with a shock of untidy hair and a pipe in his mouth. He has eyes that are unusually warm. When the concert ended, I too was able to clap sincerely. Our hostess came towards us. We both stood up. And now the meanings. Sincerely means with honesty, feeling coming right from the heart. I'm so sorry, Dr. Einstein, she said, giving me a cold look, that you miss so much. I'm sorry too, he said. My young friend here and I, however, were engaged in the greatest activity of which a human being is capable. She looked puzzled. Really? She said. And what is that? Einstein smiled and put his arm across my shoulders, opening up the frontiers of beauty. And now the meanings. Frontiers means borders of a country or sarhad